every man according to his works, good or evil, Father. And that goes for the persecutors that persecute your children. And the innocent lambs through these modern day slavery programs, you will render unto them the works of their evil, works that they're doing against your people, that they're doing against the innocent lambs, Father God. And persecuting the innocent lambs through these modern day slavery programs, that you will render unto them according to their evil works, which is bad. And you will also render to your children and the persecuted lambs and myself as your child according to the works that we do, Father God, the good works and the bad works, that you are the judge, Father God. You are the judge of all man, and you are going to be holding all man accountable for the works that they do, whether it's good or bad, Father God, in Jesus Christ's name. And you are watching these persecutors and these hate stalkers that's sitting up here spying on us every day and tracking down every step that we take, Father God, through these modern day slavery programs. You're watching them and keeping good records, and your eye does not miss anything. You know the hearts of these people because you created them, Father God, and you know what's in their hearts, and you know everything that they're doing against your people, against the innocents, against the persecuted lambs, against me as your child. Through these modern day slavery programs everywhere in the world, your eyes see greater than the eye of the devil, greater than the eye of Lucifer, Father God, greater than the eye of Horus. In Jesus Christ's name, Father God. And nothing ever misses your eyes, that what these persecutors are doing to me through the covert gang stalking program, what they're doing against your children and any of these modern day slavery programs everywhere in the world, what they're doing to the children, the innocents and the innocent adults, Father God, in Jesus Christ's name. You are going to be the judge, and you're going to render to every man according to his works, Father. Because you see everything, Father, and nothing never misses your eyes, in Jesus Christ's name. These persecutors think they're watching us, but you're watching them while they're watching us, Father. You see what they're doing. They can't hide from you. They can't manipulate you and trick you or slide from you, Father God, because you see it. You know it. You know what we do before we're going to do it. You know our thoughts before we think them, Father God. Greater than these social engineers that's engineering V2K in our minds. In Jesus Christ's name. Verse 13. My son, eat thou honey, because it is good, and the honeycomb, which is sweet to thy taste. Father, I pray that you will help myself and your children to eat the honey that you have created, which is your natural food, to eat honey because it is good, and the honeycomb, which is sweet to our taste. Thank you for providing us with honey, Father God, to eat at times, Father God, to be sweet to our taste, to enjoy to our taste, Father, in Jesus Christ's name. Verse 14, so shall the knowledge of wisdom be unto thy soul when thou hast found it. Then there shall be a reward, and thy expectation shall not be cut off. So, Father, just like honey is sweet to our taste, Father, I thank you that the knowledge of your word, the knowledge of wisdom from your word is sweet unto our souls, Father God, and to the souls of your children and the persecuted lambs, and into my soul as your child. And when we find your wisdom, your knowledge of wisdom, Father God, then there shall be a reward for us, Father, for your children, for the persecuted lambs that find your knowledge of wisdom, and for myself as I find your knowledge of wisdom, Father God, and my expectation and the expectations of your children and the persecuted lambs shall not be cut off. Father God, when we find the knowledge of wisdom from you, Father God, from your word, in Jesus Christ's name. Verse 15, lay not wait, O wicked man, against the dwelling of the righteous. Spoil not his resting place. Father God, the evil persecutors that persecute your children and the innocent lambs and myself through these modern day slavery programs, they lay wait for us, Father, and they dwell against the righteous. and they spoil the resting place of your righteous. They make sure that we can't rest, we can't sleep, we be at edge all the time behind all the trauma-based evil psyops that they do against us, Father God, through these modern day slavery programs of all types, Father God. And you said, lay not wait, O wicked man, against the dwelling of the righteous, spoil not his resting place. And these wicked doers that's persecuting your children through these modern day slavery programs is disobeying your word, Father God. In verse 15, they're not doing what your word says in Proverbs 24:15. Because they lay not wait, O wicked man, and they lay in wait against the persecuted lambs and against the dwelling of the righteous lambs, Father God. And they're spoiling the resting place of the righteous lambs, Father God, through these modern day slavery programs and the way that they come against us in our homes and put these electronic devices and beaming us with electronic devices, magnetic weaponries, Father God, and making noise campaigns against us, disturbing our resting place, Father God, and these monitoring cameras everywhere in our homes and doing all this noise harassment campaigns in our neighborhoods and through evil human agents of the devil, Father God, and everywhere where we travel. They disturbing our peace, Father God, in our resting place, in our homes. And you said not for them to do that. Father God, you told the wicked man not to do that, and they're doing that, Father God. So they're disobeying your word, and they're rebelling against your word, according to Proverbs 24:15. In Jesus Christ's name, and I pray that you release your judgment and vengeance upon the wicked doers, the workers of iniquities, Father God, iniquity that persecute your lambs, that's disturbing our resting places, Father God, that's dwelling against the righteous, Father God, and laying to wait to attack us, Father God, in Jesus Christ's name, through these modern day slavery programs, spoiling our resting places, disturbing us and putting us on edge every time, Father, every day. They will not even let us ponder a thought and think, Father God, our own thoughts and even relax before they start harassing us with noise harassment campaigns and beaming us with weapons so we cannot sleep even at night, Father God, in Jesus Christ's name. Verse 16, for a just man felleth 7 times, for a just man felleth 7 times, and riseth up again. But the wicked shall fall into mischief. Father God, I thank you that your children, as just people, and myself as your child, as a just woman of God, and all the persecuted lambs that are just, that are being persecuted through these modern day slavery programs by their persecutors everywhere in the world, fall it 7 times. Even though we fall 7 times, Father God, we fall it 7 times, we rise up again, Father God, with your help, Father God. And even though I fall 7 times, I rise up again as your child. But you said, Father, the wicked shall fall into mischief. And that goes to the persecutors that are wicked, Father God, that persecute the innocents, that persecute your children, that persecute me as your child through these modern day slavery programs everywhere in the world. They shall fall into mischief, Father God, one of these days, in Jesus Christ's name, for persecuting your people and innocent lambs through these modern day slavery programs and persecute me, and the wicked that persecute me shall fall into mischief, that persecute me through this covert gain stocking program, in Jesus Christ's name. Verse 17, rejoice not when thine enemy falleth, and let not thine heart be glad when he stumbleth. Father, I pray, even though it's so easy for us to rejoice when our enemies fall and stuff, Father God, you said for us not to rejoice in that. So, Father God, I pray that you help myself and all your children in the persecuted lambs, even though we're being persecuted by our persecutors through these modern day slavery programs, and we wish that your judgment will come upon them for all the evil stuff they're doing against us on a daily basis. And I wish that. But Father, I pray that you will help myself and your children in the persecuted lambs not to rejoice when our enemies fall it, and that we will not let our hearts be glad when they stumble it. Father God, help us with that, especially me, Father God, because I know I want your judgment to come upon my enemies because they are attacking me so hard, Father God. But I pray that you would help me not to rejoice when my enemies fall, and that you will help me that my heart will not be glad when my enemies stumble that come against me, Father, that you will help me not to let my heart be glad when my enemies stumble. In Jesus Christ's name. Because to be honest, I do be glad they stumble. But Father, I pray that you help me not to be in that state of mind and attitude, Father God, in Jesus Christ's name. Along with all the ones that are being persecuted by their persecutors through these modern day slavery programs as well. In Jesus Christ's name, verse 18. Lest the Lord see it and it displease him and he turn away his wrath from him. So, Father God, I just pray that you will help us not to rejoice when our enemies fall and when they stumble, Father God. Lest you see it, Father God, you see us rejoicing in that, and then it displeases you, and we don't want to displease you. I don't want to displease you, Father God, and you turn away the wrath from those evildoers that persecute us. So I thank you for just helping us with that, Father God, because whatever reason you tell us not to rejoice in that. So anyway, Father God, we just want to obey you. I want to obey you in that commandment of your word in verse 17. Father God, of Proverbs 24, in Jesus Christ's name, verse 19. Fret not thyself because of evil men, neither be thou envious at the wicked. Father, I pray that you will help myself and your children and all the persecuted lambs everywhere. Father God, not to fret ourselves because of evil men, and not even to fret ourselves because of the evil persecutors that persecute us through these modern day slavery programs, and that you will help us not to be envious of the wicked people and the wicked persecutors that persecute us through these modern day slavery programs, because they get a lot of breaks in life where we can't get breaks because they have allowed us not to and blocked us from getting any kind of breakthroughs in our lives and stuff. So I thank you for helping us not to be jealous and envious of the wicked persecutors that come against us, and the wicked that seem to be doing so well materially or financially or socially or whatever, and we're just in squalor and stuff, Father God, because they put us in that squalor against our will. In Jesus Christ's name. Verse 20. Father God, for there shall be no reward to the evil man. The candle of the wicked shall be put out. So, Father God, I thank you for helping myself and your children and the persecuted lambs that are being persecuted by the evil persecutors that persecute us through these modern day slavery programs, not to be envious and glad and rejoice when they stumble, because, Father God, and to fret not because of evil people that come against us and the persecutors that come against us, and not to be envious of the wicked persecutors that come against us through these modern day slavery programs to do evil stuff against us. Because, Father, you said in verse 20, for there shall be no reward to the evil man, and the candle of the wicked shall be put out, Father God. So that means the persecutors that are evil, that persecute your children and the innocent lambs and myself as your child through these modern day slavery programs throughout this world, there should be no reward to the evil man, and the candle of the wicked persecutors should be put out by you, Father. Your judgment will come upon these evildoers and these wicked evil people that persecute your people, that persecute the innocent lambs and myself as your child through these modern day slavery programs. The candle shall be put out, Father God, by you, and you will not give them a reward, Father God, for the evils that they're doing against us, because they won't get the trinkets anymore, Father God. They won't get the trinkets anymore that they're making, because you're going to take away all those riches that they're making and stuff at our expense, at the expense of the innocents and the lambs and your children, and my expense through these modern day programs. In Jesus Christ's name. Verse 21, my son, fear thou the Lord and the King, and meddle not with them that are given to change. Father God, I pray that you will help your children and all the persecuted lambs and myself as your child to fear you, Lord, that we will fear you, Lord Jehovah Yah, and the king and people that's over us, and that we will meddle not with them that are given to change, for people that always have to change something every second unnecessarily, Father God, and that we won't meddle with those type of